Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Check-In, the now daily little segment of the Framework podcast where we go into one of the Frameworkers' houses and see how they're doing this during these weird times of isolation and quarantine and things. And finally, today we have Jess Leondiou. Everyone has been wondering, our favorite energy ball and laugh machine, how has she been holding up? And finally we have her here. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Nice to speak with you.
How's your, does this feel like human interaction at the moment? Is this a good level of human interaction during this time?
That's the thing. I've been still in so much contact with so many different frameworkers. So I'm still managing to get in my daily quota of talking. Because I'm always on the phone or Skyping or Zooming or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of this at the moment, which is fun.
Which we all know, your daily quota of talking is a lot of words. So you're putting some intense effort into making sure that you can use the same amount of words.
Yeah, but it's working out so far, so good.
But I have to say that it works for me, it's valid for me, but I'm sure it's valid for a lot of other people. Not having you around is different. It's so different. I don't want this. I don't like not having you around. So I really, really miss you, and I'm sure a lot of other people will say the same.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. I think there'd be some other people that are probably enjoying it. Bit of space, bit of calm, bit of quiet. And I'm glad that you're
those are not the people that we want to stay in Framework and are part of our community. We're all loud weirdos. So,
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks.
Apartment looks really, really nice. I see all of these plants and things. You made your little cave.
Do my work. And then sit, and then there's my bedroom over there, which you've seen my house, haven't you? Yeah,
I love your house. It's such a tiny little gem. You would never expect that house to be that way, and it screams your personality everywhere. So it's such a good place.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it. It's a little sanctuary at the moment.
It's good. I feel like everyone realized that plants are the key to survive when you have to spend a long time in the house.
Yes, I know. That window, I think if I didn't have that window, I'd be losing it, because that, I don't know if you can see, but that looks out onto plants. So it feels like there's plants and then there's more plants. So it's that is really making me happy.
Yeah, you made a shot where you have all of the small plants in the foreground and all of the big plants in the background. Good eye. Good eye.
Big forest. It's great. So yeah.
But let's ask you something that we asked pretty much everyone, which is the hot topic at the moment. We're all freelancers. We're all stuck at home. We're not used to be stuck at home.
Yeah.
How's work for you?
Well, workflow is kind of good for me, because what happens is I will focus and then I'll walk around and then there's no one to talk to. I don't bump into any other humans. I just bump into a plant. Can't really carry that on for that long. And then I go back to what I'm doing. So there's kind of in terms of a workflow, it's not too bad. And then it's kind of the phone calls obviously break things up. For me, the main thing I've been working on, I've still got client work, which is good. So that's all fine.
Great.
Yeah, and then I've had a bit of space to actually do some stuff with Archleys. So I'm making the second product for Archleys, which is so that's
the
really
second
exciting.
Product. I didn't know there was a second product in the pipeline. What?
Yeah. So I'm making that at the moment. So so far it's been done as a test with email campaigns. Not email campaigns, I'm sending out journaling prompts. So now we're up to week 3. And I've been getting a lot of good feedback, which is exciting. So I've started to actually, with the space, I've been able to interact with different people who are using Book of Books and now using the journaling prompts. So that's exciting. So I'm excited about that. So we've got the digital version done, and then it'll be a case of once I get enough, once I've refined it and get some momentum, I'll make the second one. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And for the few people in the universe that don't know what Archleys did as their first product and what a Book of Book is, my copy of the Book of Books is here, and it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I am a terrible reader, so I've never used it.
That's okay. I think when you got this, we knew that might have been one of the hurdles we had to overcome.
Yeah, one of the things that I was excited for when we started this isolation and quarantine is actually I stocked up, which in my language is 4 books that I wanted to read one that I wanted to read again, and 3 new books that were like suggested to me by friends. And I said, like, finally, I will have the time and the mindset to just sit down and read. It's been almost 5 weeks. I have not read 1 page of any of those. I am the worst reader. And I really wanted it to do as an exercise to actually write something on Book of Books, because I was jealous that Ben just like, as soon as he got his copy, he started reading books, he started journaling them down. I'm like, damn it.
He did 1 book in 1 night.
But like, I think that the period calls for, I don't know, a lot of journaling. I'm assuming that you're doing a lot of it, right?
Yeah, like it's getting next level with the journaling, because like already I write down like a lot of the things that I'm going through, like because I'm emotional, so I kind of process emotions by putting them on paper. Oh, so a lot of that like emotional processing I do on paper. And so it's been, for the people who have been doing the journaling prompts, they said it's good because the prompts are designed to help you. So the first week was like going back and reflecting on things that have happened, and then there's different prompts about like reframing if you're having a disagreement, when you feel like you made a mistake. Different things that I think people are going through, even like when you're starting a new thing. So hopefully they are useful.
Yeah, I think that like with your knowledge of journaling and your excitement about it, which is like the real gold nugget in what you do, like you just ooze excitement about things. I think that like a lot of people can be, let's say, persuaded into starting to journal, especially in a time that is as difficult as the current one, where like it's very difficult to find a line of thought, hold it for long enough, realize what you've been going through already. Even just like, I don't know, we are at week 4 or 5 of isolation. I don't really remember how I felt week 1. It feels like it's always been just one big emotion, whereas it's not. There were like good days and bad days, and there is ups and downs. And I think that there is a lot of potential to learn from journaling.
Yeah, I think, that's a really interesting distinction, because I think that we as humans aren't kind of aware of the fact that we're not often able to recognize our own patterns. So it is like sometimes when you're immersed in one particular emotion, it feels like your whole world's shaded in that color. And it is difficult to actually distinguish like what were the shades that I've been through in this period, and what does that look like over time. So it is insightful, because we trick ourselves into thinking that we're thinking and feeling certain things all the time. But when you pull back the covers, you're like, wow, all right, that's a bit different to what I thought was there.
Yeah, very true. And like it's not until certain key moments in life that you kind of crystallize that thought process or like that emotion, and you kind of go like, okay, I have now achieved, I don't know, knowledge about myself to the point where I know that every now and then I will feel this way that is recurrent, that is going to go away, that I don't have to panic about it, and I have to accept it and go like, today's a day where I behave that way because of that thing. Done.
Yes, that's exactly right. Like that really is the kind of core premise of all of this, because then you're like, all right, cool, I'm standing in a storm. Fine.
True.
That's fine. I've been in a storm before. We've talked about this, me, myself, and I. But like, this is just another one of those. And the storm does eventually pass. Just sit it out.
So there is a question that I really wanted to ask you, because Sam Roberts asked me, and he asked, who is the last person you hugged? And I said, Jess, because I think that the last hug was one of those, we are not allowed to hug, but we will do it regardless in Framework. The last day I was in Framework. And I was thinking like, who is the last person you hugged? You would know.
I think I know. Actually, no, I do. It was my sister, because she had to come and pick up her stuff. Yeah, that's true. I was lucky. Yeah, it was my little sister. Yeah, how lucky is that? Oh, that's a bloody good question.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
And I'll give one to Sam because it's his question, to be fair.
I wanted to ask you a question, even though I wasn't supposed to. What would you title if you had to call the movie of you being in your house? Give it a title. What would you call the movie, the blockbuster of Nico in Isolation?
Oh wow, that is another good question. Like, I feel like I want to think about it for a bit.
I think Sam's was better to answer on the fly.
No, I think it's just going to be called All the Moods.
Old Moods?
Yeah, All the Moods.
Is it shot in black and white, or what's it look like?
No, it's very colorful at certain points, and it like desaturates in others. Because I feel like what I'm doing is like this constant flow, ebb and flow of weird different moods.
Yeah.
So like for one of the things that I've learned is that I get very irritated and very easily irritable when when I'm not happy about myself.
Yeah.
So part of me wants to shift the blame. So now, like, I don't accept that I'm not happy about myself, about what I'm doing or how much effort I'm putting into it or like what I'm achieving and all that. And that becomes like, oh, what is the next thing that I can find and go like, oh, it's this thing's fault.
Yeah.
And so that's very new to me because I'm usually not in that mood. So I found myself going like micromanaging people in the house.
Really?
Which is not me.
Oh, how is that going down? Because you've got a lot of other managerial types in your house.
Yeah.
How's the third manager going?
We clash. It's fine. Like, I think that we all always need to like clash a little bit just so you can like take the lid off and like let some steam out. Just a tiny bit. So you don't go like, you've done it, but you just fight over the slightest thing. And like you do it as a joke, not in a passive aggressive, but in a funny aggressive way. And, like, and everyone like at the end, it's fine. So.
Yeah, nice.
So what's the title of your movie?
Oh my gosh. Probably Me, Myself and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I actually have really enjoyed having a bit of space. Like I've liked having all this time. It's been the perfect time to make like the product. It's actually good. I say that now. Like I haven't quite, like as we talked about before, I haven't started drawing on the wall. So.
Oh, like I'm sure that I wasn't the only person expecting that to be happening. Like I expected this call to start with you going like, "Hi, well, this is my new jungle, and like I've realized that I can eat, sleep, and work on the floor without ever going vertical ever again."
It is funny that you should say that though. I have been testing out like different ways of working. Like
of course you would have.
I have one new system that I enjoy. I have two phones, okay? So this phone has my apps, so it's dirty. This phone has all my apps. This phone has no apps except for meditation and Spotify. So I put my SIM card in this phone in the morning until 12. So I can use Spotify and meditation. And if someone in an emergency needs to get through to me, they can call me.
Through the meditation app?
Through the meditation app.
And just get straight to your brain and your chakras.
And after 12, I put this phone on and then it's like bling, bling, notification. And that has like all of, because you know how I get with social media apps, they annoy me. Then this thing has all the bling, bling and that all starts up at 12. So everything is like quiet unless like, I don't know, mom or dad needs to get in contact with me. It's like a little peaceful oasis. And that is my new phone thing. That's probably my best hack that I found in ISO.
That is amazing. Like I usually ask everyone if there is one change or one new habit that they develop in isolation that they would want to keep after this. And I think that's the question. That's the answer to that question. Like that is such a good system.
Yeah, it actually does work because I've tried it out in different ways before. And like I used to have it, I don't know, I used to think that it would be better if I deleted apps or this, that, but swapping the SIM card takes 2 seconds. So people, you've got an iPhone lying around that you're no longer using.
Well, stay tuned for the third product of Archleys coming, which is like the SIM remover.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been good.
That's amazing. Like, and I don't know, I'm very happy to see that like you're in a way thriving in being by yourself and like taking ownership of your space and understanding how to like focus and do things better. And I was talking with one of my housemates about this, and I remember that I spent 6 months when I first moved to Melbourne and a year after when I went back to Milan living by myself in a small apartment. And I was just thinking, what would have happened if isolation and quarantine happened while I was living by myself? And I would have gone crazy, but not crazy like in a good movie way.
Yeah.
Like not just like, that was an entertaining crazy. No, I would have just gone crazy as in like the world would have not known. I would have emerged a quite similar person out of the isolation and quarantine. And then just people would have gone like, what did you do in March and April? I'm like, what do you mean March and April? What? Like there would have been a hole of like things in my life. So I'm very glad that I still have people around me that can keep me accountable for things. Yeah. So if I start lazing around too much, you can kind of see the looks. Like when you walk through the like, I don't know, the kitchen, people going like, and you go like, okay, fine, I'll do some work. Fine. Okay. I get it.
I love that. It's just me and myself looking at each other like lazy. I saw that. Get up.
Yeah, I would have started high-fiving mirrors. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. You don't?
Yes, lazy. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
One last thing, because I feel like we've covered a lot of things already. But what is the first thing you want to do when the restrictions lift up?
Oh, come to your house.
Yes! That is the best question. The best answer. This morning, I cannot... I have lost the meaning behind question and answer. They're completely interchangeable in my head. Yesterday, I recorded an episode of Framework News with Francis, and my brain just wanted to say the word incredible as many times as possible. I could not finish a sentence without saying it. If I look it back, it's just...
It's a word. It's okay.
I know, but oh man, my brain is weird. Cool.
Right.
So we've reached the final and most important conclusion, which is as soon as the restrictions lift up, you're coming here and we are having some drinks.
Yeah.
It is the best thing in the world. And is there something you want to say to frameworkers that are at home?
Oh, just hello, frameworkers. I don't know. Call me if you're bored. I'm here with the plan.
That's good. But not before 12.
But not before 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after 12.
Don't call me before 12. It's probably the main thing. And I've actually said that to a lot of people. Please, before 12. But everyone
It's
also, if you're
just time.
But actually, people should do this. It's nice. It's very...
I might give it a try, but I'm sure that there is like an app that allows you to block every other app for a
I've
bit.
tried so many of these apps. So there's an app called Freedom that does do that, but Freedom will end up accidentally blocking some of your other apps. So there's like, it can sometimes dick with the internet. Like they have bugs. They're very buggy. I swear to you,
Yeah, whereas the analogical version of it doesn't have any bugs. If there's no SIM in it, it can't work.
Except for yesterday, I almost lost the SIM card. That was a bit of a, blooper. But
that was a bit of a Jess move. Yeah, true.
No, it really was. But yeah, anyway.
Jess, thank you so much for doing the check-in with us. And I love you and I miss your face so much. And I can't wait
nice to see you.
For everything to be back to somewhat normal and somewhat new.
Yes, I know. Bye, Nico.
Bye. Ciao.